What's up, Bubba's Vlogs? Welcome back to another video, and today I got y'all with another story time. It's a throwback. As y'all can tell by the title, I busted my head open. I got stitches to show for it. It's like somewhere right here. I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to. It's in my head. It's somewhere right here. I don't know if I can show it. Hold on. I think that's it right there, like right here. I have stitches in my head. And y'all not imagine when this happened. This happened when I was 5 years old. So this isn't any just type of throwback. This isn't a college, a high school. This was kindergarten. I was five when I got my head busted. It was just a regular little day. I was going to a public school at the time, and I was just chilling. We were out having a good day, me just doing my little 5-year-old things, you know what I'm saying? It was fifth grade. I was 5 years old. It was kinder, and we were at the swings, and I was swinging. I was talking to this little girl that I thought she was the baddest. She was talking to me. She was showing me what she was wearing. She's like, "What you wearing? What I'm wearing?" All this stuff. But next thing I know, I'm just talking to these girls on the swings, chopping it up. I had girls in line for me. I'm not even kidding. This was fifth grade me. Bruh. Kindergarten me. This was kindergarten me. I had all the chicks, and I mean, I guess nothing's changed, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. So like I said, I was talking to these girls on the swings, and I was just chopping it up, and next thing I know, I don't know. So you know how it swings, that it's like the wood thing goes around the swings, and then it's like rocks or whatever, typically it's like a square thing with wood. Then they have like the sand or the rocks in it, right? And then it's the swings, right? So what had happened was I was just chilling right there, and I was standing in the rocks, like right here. So there's the square, right, like this, but it wraps around, and I was like right here, and I went down like this, and I was looking between my legs, pause, and I was down like this, pause. So I was like basically like this, and I was looking down in between my legs at the person behind me, and I don't even remember who it was. I don't know what or how or anything. Like, I think someone else was doing it next to me. Next thing I know, I get pushed forward, and then I fall on the wood thing, and I just remember, boom. And then my head like got a little sore. It was like a sore feeling. It wasn't like a sharp, it was like a dull feeling in my head. I was like, ah! I just felt it like right here, and it just went like this, and it just went all in my head. And I look up, and then people were just looking at me. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I was like, I look at my hand, and my hand is full of blood, like blood all on my hand, and I just go like this.
What happened?
Like, I guess disoriented a little bit. I don't really remember. I just remember being 5 years old and looking at my hand, and I saw blood on it, and I was like, whoa, what happened? I don't know if someone walked me to the teacher. The reason it busted my head open was not because I landed on the wood. There was a nail sticking out in the wood, and it cut my head open. Like, a nail went in my head. I fell on a nail. I'm not making this up. So I fell straight into the nail, had blood all on my hand, and I was like this, and I walk up to the teacher, and I promise this is what I said. My mom can attest to this. I don't know what I was thinking, but I go up to the teacher with blood on my hand, and I'm like,
Miss,
whatever her name was. I still remember her name, actually. Her name was Miss Olson. I had the biggest crush on her. She was my teacher. You know, we had that one teacher that we always think is like good looking and stuff. That was my fifth grade. Kindergarten. I don't know why I keep saying fifth grade. It's because I was 5. I keep putting it whatever. I walked up to her, and I was like, someone spilled a bucket of paint on my head, and I show her the blood, and she just freaks out. And then the other lady stands up next to her, and they're like, oh my gosh, and they just start freaking out. But they're not freaking out too much because they don't want to freak me out, but they're like freaking out because like a kid just busted his head open and he has blood all in his hand. So then they're like, I don't know, I think they tell me to put my hand on my head, and like they're like putting it like pressure on it or something so I don't bleed out. But I'm just chilling. I just thought I literally thought someone poured a bucket of paint on my head. I don't know why I said that. I don't know if I was serious. Half the time to this day, I still don't know what goes on in my mind. I just remember we walk in from the playground into the thing, and then around to the nurse's office, and then I get to the nurse's office, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, and then I remember sitting in the nurse's office, like she was like, I think we're gonna have to take him to the emergency room. Like, I would hope so. So then I'm sitting in there with the nurse, and then the teacher's still sitting in there with me, and my mom's not at the school. My mom worked at the same school that I was at the moment. She was doing something else. She wasn't my teacher, but she worked at the same school, but she was at a meeting. So the nurse or somebody, I don't know if it's the nurse or the teacher, or somebody calls up my mom in the middle of the meeting that she's at, not on campus, and they're like,
don't freak out, but your son's gonna be okay, but we need you to come up to the school right now.
And my mom, of course, being like a mom, she was freaking out. Like, that's not what you say. They didn't tell her what happened. They just said, just get up to the school. So then somebody has to drive her. I still know the person who drove her to the school to get me. I had to put a hat on, my hair's messed up. But anyways, so she drives up to the school, and she gets there, and then she sees me, and of course she's freaking out the entire drive. They're not knowing what happened to me, just saying, don't freak out, your son's gonna be okay. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there with my head busted, and she's like, she walks in the room, and her face, she was just like this, and I don't really remember because I was 5 years old, but I just remember we got in the car, and I remember we get in the car, We go to the hospital or the emergency room or whatever it is, and I'm sitting in the back and my mom was holding me. I was just sitting there still with my hand on my head, and I think they gave me paper towels or something to put on my head to just apply pressure so that way I don't bleed out, because considering I went up to the teacher and I said, somebody poured a bucket of paint on my head, I must have been losing a lot of blood. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I fell on my head as a kid. You know, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I was dropped on my head as a kid. So we get to the hospital, and my mom's friend, the principal, actually drove us to the hospital because my mom couldn't drive. She was freaking out, and she was just sitting there holding me basically in the back seat, and I'm there with my hand on my head, and we walk into the emergency room, and then they say that they look at it and they're like, we're gonna have to get this kid stitches. I don't really remember, but I remember sitting in the emergency room, and it was like a big white room, obviously, I guess. But then the person, I remember they came out with this bag of stitches, and it looked like, I was like, are y'all gonna have to staple these in my head? I thought it was gonna be like a legit stapler, but they had this little tool that was kind of like this, and they squeezed it, it looked like scissors, and it goes, I didn't want to do that. They didn't give me no medicine, they didn't give me anything. They gave me like 3 stitches, like right here. I was kind of sad. I didn't cry because I'm a savage. Like, nothing phases me. I think I had to leave him in for 2 weeks, and I don't remember. I don't think it hurt. No, believe me, it hurt, but I think I was just in so much like adrenaline going on at the moment that I wasn't in as much pain as I probably could have been, because I think that's how your body works, obviously. I know I was sore. It was like I told you, it wasn't a sharp feeling, it was a dull feeling that was just in my head, and I don't even know if I took any medicine, to be honest with you, but I know I had to keep him in for 2 weeks, and when they took him out is when it really hurt. And I remember they gave me a little Ziploc bag, and I kept I don't know if I kept the stitches or what they put them in. I was like, I don't want them, but I don't really remember. But I will say, I remember them taking out the stitches hurt a lot more than them putting them in, which sounds kind of weird. I don't know, I really don't, but I do remember I was in a lot of pain. And I remember a lot of stuff that happened when I was in kindergarten. I remember I went to school in a Spider-Man suit for graduation. That's a different story for another time. I remember I got my stitches. I remember I missed a field trip and I ate pizza. I don't know, a lot of stuff happened when I was 5 years old. I remember a lot of stuff from when I was a kid. But what's crazy is that I busted my head open, and this kid busted his head open too, like a week later, or literally like a week later on the other playground. And he had to get stitches too. And I remember his name, and then I didn't meet him or talk to him for a long time. I remember he got all the girls because he busted his head open. I don't know if that happened to me. I think everybody was like clapping when I got back or something. I don't think I went back the same day, but it was funny because you got all the sympathy from everybody because you busted your head open. I don't think I got as much attention as the other kid did. I was just kind of the kid that busted his head open. He was like popular for it. I think so, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember he fell down. This wasn't me, but I shouldn't be laughing. But it happened to me first, so I can say this and laugh. He fell, and then everybody went and surrounded him. All right, whatever. Anyways, that's not my story. That's his story. But I remember I hadn't talked to him since it was like kindergarten. I was 5 years old. Then I met him in high school. I was like, you're the kid that busted your head open. He was like, you're the kid that busted your head open. That's a quick little throwback story time that I got for y'all. I still have the stitches to show for what happened when I was a kid. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get some more videos coming out with y'all. I'm tired of doing the story times, but I got a lot of stories to tell now. I would like to go out and do some real fun stuff, but it's hard for me to do that on my own. So let me know what y'all want to see in the comments. Make sure y'all follow my Instagram and TikTok, and I'll catch y'all guys in the next one. See you guys later.